Hi, JT. I hope my volume is good. Excellent. Good morning, everyone. I'm going to wait for a few more people to come. Hi, Matt. Good morning. And then I'll begin asking gathering questions. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Virtual Church School. Hi, Marion. Good morning. So, my question for the morning is, well, I'm going to point out that Thanksgiving is happening this week, and Thanksgiving means giving thanks. And I'm wondering if anybody has anything they want to say thanks about. If you do, you can type it in the chat. And when a few more people come, I'll ask all of them the same question. A few more people are here. The question that we're going to start with today is that because it's Thanksgiving week coming up, I'm wondering if people have anything that they would like to say thank you for. I can't hear you, but I can read whatever you type in the chat. So if you'd like to type in the chat about what you're feeling thankful for, or anybody you'd like to give thanks to, please type away. So Thanksgiving is coming up in a few days. I'd like to give thanks for. Oh, JT has responded in the chat. I'm so glad about Quincy. His cat Quincy is fully recovered and has resumed his chow hound ways. That means his appetite is hearty. That means he's probably all well. Oh, and JT got the crown on his molar done. That's great, JT. Oh, and Marion is giving thanks for her daughter and her partner who have been isolating for 2 weeks, during this pandemic. And so now Marion can go have Thanksgiving at their house, which is really great. That's very nice of them that they were able to do that. If anybody else has anything that they would like to say thanks for, just type it in the chat. I have many things I'd like to say thank you about. And yesterday I said thank you to a housemate who made chocolate chip banana bread and shared it with me. And before that, I thanked a couple of folks who helped me with my air conditioner. And every morning I feel very, very thankful for having something like coffee to drink. Thank you, coffee, for existing, especially in the morning. What do you want to say thank you? Oops, nearly dropped that. Are you having trouble thinking of things? We might just need to wait for a few more people to come. Because it's Thanksgiving week, it might be a small turnout. Hi, good morning, Kim. If you, Kim, or anybody else who's joined us wants to say what they're grateful for in the chat, please type it in. It's Thanksgiving week, so I thought we could open up by talking about what we want to give thanks for. If there's any kids aboard with us, I can suggest some ideas for you. Oh, Matt is thankful for kind people. This is going to be very topical for our lesson today. Oh, and Kim is grateful for her friends and family who have found ways that they can stay in contact with more virtually. Yeah, that's wonderful. Sometimes small people have trouble thinking things up. I have some suggestions, like maybe you have a cozy blanket on your bed that you want to say thank you to, or maybe you feel thankful that you have some toys to play with or crayons to draw with, or maybe there's some breakfast inside of you right now and you'd like to thank the breakfast for being inside of you, or thank the people who prepared the breakfast. I'd like to thank out loud my friend Sarah's knitting me this coaster with coffee on it on both sides. Thank you, Sarah's mom. Hi, Sarah's mom. Do you have someone you'd like to thank out loud? We might not be able to hear you, but if you type your thank you in the chat, I can call it out loud and clear. And then if the person you are thanking watches this YouTube video, they will hear themselves being thanked. It's like a thank you note on video. Perhaps you'd like to thank your pet, your guinea pig, your cat, your dog for being warm and fuzzy, your pet rabbit. Or maybe you'd like to thank your grandpa for being your grandpa. Maybe you'd like to thank your parents for reading to you, or for helping you get books from the library, or for not getting mad at you when you broke something. I broke my housemate's ceramic spoon rest, and she did not get mad at me. Thank you. And I broke my mug, and I did not get mad at myself. So thank you, self. In the meantime, I'm going to show you a picture of a thank you someone wrote recently. My niece's friend is a nurse working in a COVID ward, and she took this photo. I don't know if you can see. No, I have to scroll, sorry. There is the thank you note pinned up at this nurse's station. And the note says, it's hard to read for you. I will read it, the words aloud. It says, "Thank you so much again for taking care of my wife and helping her get better. I wish I had more words than thank you, but I hope you know how truly appreciative I am. If she is able to hear you, can you please read her this card and the notes on the back of the pictures?" That's a nice way to send someone a thank you note, and they can pin it up on their workstation. Here is another picture from the same COVID ward, and it also is hard to read. The picture shows someone writing a note to the nurses on the ward. The note says, "We love you, 201 nurses." 201 is not how many nurses there are. It's just the label of the part of the hospital where the nurses work. Sometimes when we say, "We love you," we are also saying thank you. And now it's almost time to ring the bell. And my phone is very far away, which has the bell on it. Sorry for the lack of preparation. Thank you for not getting mad at me for not having my bell ready. Well, that's fun. I've forgotten what the app is called. Oh, Marion has said, thank you to me for reminding me of her breakfast oatmeal before it burned. She caught it in time. Way to go, Marion. I am seemingly unable to find my Bell app because I've forgotten what the app is called. So let's just pretend I rang the bell and we'll move on with our story. So one day, Jesus was talking to his friends, the disciples. He said he wanted to thank them for helping him. What do you mean? They asked. Jesus then said 6 thank yous to his friends. Thank you for feeding me when I was hungry. Thank you for giving me something to drink when I was thirsty. Thank you for befriending me and including me when I was a stranger. Thank you for clothing me and sheltering me when I was unclothed and vulnerable. Thank you for taking care of me when I was sick. Thank you for visiting me when I was in prison. His friends were confused. They said they couldn't remember giving him any of this help. Jesus explained that any time they helped someone else, they had also helped him. One of them had fed someone who was hungry. Another one had given some water to a thirsty person. Yet another friend had helped a stranger. Another had helped clothe a person who was naked and vulnerable. Another person had taken care of someone sick. And yet another friend had visited someone in prison. Jesus said that all those times they had been doing kindnesses to him. Does that make any sense to you? If I'm kind to you, does that mean I'm being kind to Jesus? We're going to return to that question, but first I'm going to show you some pictures of people nowadays doing all these kind and helpful things. Here is someone feeding the hungry. If I had a super awesome printer, I could print these out and you could see them better. This is during the time of pandemic. You can see the people feeding the hungry are wearing masks. Here is someone else feeding the hungry. Here is someone giving water to the thirsty. It's a schoolgirl pouring water out of her water bottle into the water bottle of these other folks. It's not pandemic here because no one's wearing masks. Here is someone else giving water to the thirsty. It looks like it's a pretty dry area around them, like a desert, so probably they're very thirsty. Here's somebody nowadays, but before the pandemic, helping a stranger. This stranger is lost in a foreign country, and the folks who live in the country are helping him. These folks live in the same country, but they're strangers to each other because they haven't met before, but one is helping the other one anyway. Here is a person helping somebody who has no shoes to wear and is sad about it. This person has taken off his own shoes and is giving them to her. It looks like the ground is really sunny and hot, and you can burn your feet if you walk on that. But now she's going to have some shoes to wear, or sandals, and she will feel better. And I guess he might be able to go stand in the shade so he doesn't burn his feet. Here is somebody else clothing somebody else. The small person's face was naked, but the bigger person is helping by putting a mask on and clothing that part of the face. Here's a picture of somebody visiting the sick. Again, it's not the pandemic because people are close to each other and not wearing masks. When the pandemic ends, we'll be able to visit again like this. Here is a small person visiting somebody who is sick. She's even helping cover the big person. Here is someone else helping someone who's sick. It looks like she's holding oxygen for the smaller person. So I don't know if you noticed that I didn't include pictures of prison visits. Lots and lots of folks do visit people in prison. Our church, St. James, has a prison ministry which helps us do that. But I couldn't find any good pictures of prison visits to show you. Maybe I didn't search hard enough. Now I've got some questions for you. Can you explain how it is that when we are kind to a person, Jesus says we're being kind to him? What is that all about? How does that even work? Please write your answers in the chat if you could solve this incredibly deep mystery. I've got some ideas in case nobody could come up with anything. Just some, not any answers, just some ideas. I was going to say, if there's any church school kids who remember that far back when we were meeting for church school in person instead of on YouTube, when you were in church school and you helped someone else, how did that make me, your teacher, feel? Did I feel good or bad, happy or sad? Did I even notice? What do you think? And when you gave your brother or sister a gift, did your parents feel as though you were giving a gift to them also? How did they feel? What do you think? Did they notice? And now we're almost out of time, but I wanted to ask you a question about the story today. The story began with Jesus talking to his friends about helping others. That happened a long, long time ago, centuries ago, millennia ago. But then I showed some pictures of people helping others nowadays. Does that mean Jesus is being helped nowadays? Is Jesus being helped right now in hospitals where people are sick, in prisons where people are sad and being visited, in places where there are hungry who are being given food? What do you think? Maybe Jesus is right there getting fed and visited and cared for. Maybe if you want to look for him, one place among the many, many places that you can find him might be there where he's being fed and cared for and befriended and helped. What do you think? You can type anything you'd like in the chat. We only have a few minutes left, but there's still time to say anything you want to say. Also, if you want to look at any of the pictures again, you can make a request in the chat. Matt suggests that sometimes Jesus might like to play and to have us find him in unexpected places. When I think of Jesus, I think of unexpectedness. And I think that's partly because we're not really good at knowing, what's what and what to expect. So it looks like we've come to the end of Virtual Church School today. Have a happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Bye.